crunched softly. We moved through clusters of ancient evergreen oaks, their gnarled limbs reaching out like weathered hands, and past groves of squat pomegranate trees with their ruby-hued fruits catching the sunlight and casting a warm, inviting glow. Upon reaching a clearing surrounded by several large tufa stones jutting up through the grass and weeds, I was immediately drawn to one of the stones embedded in the hillside. The exposed side was round and flat, and it hummed, a song of the earth, a low vibration that warmed the deepest depths of me. Julia could not hear the humming, but she was surely aware of it in some hidden part of her, for she turned to me then. "I love this wood," she said, her arms outstretched toward the stone. The early morning light brightened her features, making her blue eyes shine. "I can see why." She twined her hand in mine. "I come here often to bask in the feeling. The moment I arrived in Bomarzo, I felt like I had been called home, to my true home. And this wood, this is why. It reminds me of a fairy tale, or a place from the ancient heroic myths." It was then that I had the idea. The stone, it hummed because the veil to the underworld was thin there. Perhaps, yes, if the wood was enhanced and energy from the darkness was better able to pierce the surface into this realm, I would no longer have to spend years attuning to Julia when she reappeared in the world. Instead, she would be drawn closer, and I would find her faster. It would work. I was sure of it. "Vicino doesn't like me walking here alone. Too many wolves and bears, he says." I could sense a wild boar in the far distance, but no wolves or bears. "I think we're safe here." I gestured toward one of the big misshapen rocks. Sometimes I like to imagine rocks as mythical creatures. Like that one, it could be a dragon poised to fight off danger. "Ooh, I can see it. The big open mouth, ready to take on any wolf or even a lion." Her enthusiasm was exactly what I had hoped for. I waved my arm toward the large, round, smooth rock behind it. "And that should be a great big orco with a mouth wide open, and it eats up and spits out secrets." "An ogre that spits out secrets?" Julia laughed. "Oh yes, this orco would tell all. Ogni pensiero vola." I made my hands look like a fluttering bird. She wore a wide grin. "All thoughts fly. How perfect. But if he eats up secrets, there should be a table inside this orco. It could be his tongue." As we wandered through the wood, dreaming up new lives for the monstrous rocks left eons ago by a force of nature, I was delighted to see how invested she was in the game. "There are so many stones," she said, clapping her hands together. "We could make a whole park of statues. I will write Vicino tonight." I did not expect it would be quite so easy. Usually it took a long while to convince Julia of the merit of my ideas. But the pull of the underworld was strong here, and my influence was far greater than it would have been in Paris or some backwater hill town in the wilds of Bavaria or Transylvania. On the walk back, she paused by another enormous stone that jutted out of the ground, the size of a giant. She leaned against it. "Can you keep a secret?" she asked coyly. "Of course." "This secret is only for you." She leaned forward and grasped the edge of my cloak, pulling me toward her. Our lips met, and she melted into me. In the years following, as Vicino began work on the garden, a change was palpable in the air. Each evening, as the twilight deepened, a subtle energy began to emanate from the heart of the valley. I found contentment not just in the evolving grove, but also in my closeness to Julia. Our time together, so abundant and intimate, felt different. I had never waited.